Hello everyone, this is Dust from Infernal and with another feature spotlight video. Today we're gonna have a look at weapon ultimates. But before we get to the good stuff, let's just discuss a little bit why we added weapon ultimates. There were two reasons. First, we thought that weapon combat was a little bit less cool than magical combat. We had a little bit less options there. And the second reason was that we felt that pure melee characters or pure weapon characters were not a viable thing, so we wanted to make that a viable thing. So that's why weapon ultimates have two prerequisites. The first one is, as you can see, you need 100 point in the skill category, and the second one is you are not allowed to have any points in magic whatsoever. So I've cheated our characters here a little bit so that we can actually demonstrate the weapon ultimates, but let's go quickly over them one by one because each of the different categories has a different ultimate. So for the swords, they drain a small amount of max HP per hit. The axes apply a powerful bleeding debuff to the target, which is draining life. The mace's ultimate adds a debuff to all targets in the group, reducing their physical resistance. The bow ultimate lands a guaranteed critical hit. The crossbow ultimate has a small percentage chance to one-shot an enemy. That does not work on bosses, but it currently works on legendaries. The dagger ultimate has additional increased critical damage. The staff ultimate applies a debuff which is making the targets more vulnerable to magical damage. The spear ultimate ignores the resistances completely, and the hammer ultimate has will stun enemies, and the pole arm ultimate will damage whole groups instead of single targets. So, but I think the best is if we show the actual ultimates in a real fight. So I'll see you there. So here we are in an actual fight against some dragons. As you can see, the spell button has been replaced by the ultimate button, and Talarius has a sword equipped, so which is draining some max HP. As you can see, under the normal damage there is a plus sign which indicates the ultimate effect. In this case it's plus 7 HP per swing. This depends on the max HP of the enemy. In this case it's 240, but on higher difficulties and against legendaries or bosses this can go much higher, so don't underestimate that. But anyway, we'll skip the turn with him because the sword ultimate is not that interesting. We will have the axe ultimate here, which is applying a bleeding debuff. We will execute that. And Denevor has a mace in hand, which also applies physical resistance debuff. We will execute that as well. Xularia has a bow, which is guaranteeing a critical hit. We will not execute that because I'm afraid that we're gonna kill these dragons off and we'll not see the actual effects of these two ultimates. Kolgoroth has a crossbow in hand, which has a 5% chance to instantly kill a target. We will also not execute this because, well, it's the chances that we're gonna see this very low. And last but not least, Ledvalia has a spear equipped, which is ignoring the 30% physical resistance completely and does 111 damage. Will not execute that as well for the time being. Let's just see these two ultimates in effect. First, the X ultimate, which is applying this bleeding debuff. And then we have an additional feeble debuff, reducing the physical resistance of the enemy. Now the dragons also attack a little bit, but they don't do too much right now. And the bleeding debuff from the X ultimate. So yeah, those were these ultimates. Now we can have the sword ultimate. We will skip those for the time being. And we will have the bow ultimate. The crossbow ultimate will not do that much. And we'll have the spear ultimate. Unfortunately, we will not really see those in effect unless we analyze the battle log, and I don't want to bore you with that stuff, so we're just gonna watch it and see a little bit what happens. The damage here is a little bit higher than usual. This is the guaranteed critical hit. As you can see, now the dragons are already dead. We have a couple more left, and I see you with those weapons in the next fight. So here we are again with some massive magma golems. Talarius has a staff equipped, which will add 5% magical amplification per swing. So we will see this one first, and we'll skip all the rest for the time being. And as you can see, magic susceptibility, magical damage increased by 10% because he swing twice with his weapon. Now let's let the golems do their thing. Oh, they do quite a lot of damage. Now let's skip Talarius. Yuzetna has a hammer equipped, which should actually stun these golems. They are not immune to stun, so let's do that. Then we have Denevor. He has a dagger equipped, which should amplify the critical hit twice times the normal critical damage. I'm a little bit afraid that we're gonna kill them off, but we're gonna do it anyway. Hopefully we see that. Xylaria has a pole arm equipped, which will do damage to the whole group. I think we will skip her for the time being as well. Kalgoroth and Letwalia doesn't have any new weapons, so we're gonna skip those two as well. Maybe Denevor dies, but he will execute his ultimate first, so it doesn't really matter. All the match. So we have two guys have been stunned, and we have higher critical hits here with the Ice Bane. That's very nice that we saw that. Very nice. So yeah, as you can see, like 4.2 times critical hit is not possible under normal circumstances. So this is because we have the dagger ultimate, and one of the golems is already dead and the other three are heavily wounded. So we're gonna skip all of those three because we've already seen them, and we have Xylaria left with Utzluk, the pole arm, which should actually do damage to all of them. 94 to all three of the golems, and we're gonna skip the rest of them. So yeah, now a lot of numbers pop up, and as you can see, like all the golems have received at least two, have received exactly 2 hits from Xylaria, and actually 2 of them died, so that's nice. Well, Yusetna died as well, but anyway, I hope I could I've showcased you how the weapon ultimates work, and yeah, I think it's an exciting new feature which adds a lot of flair to the game. I hope you enjoyed the video, and yeah, I see you soon.